Hey, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into this huge technological shift that's happening in a field all about, well, understanding people. It's called qualitative research. There's a quiet revolution going on, and it's totally changing how we figure out the why behind what people do. So let's jump in and see what that future is starting to look like. Okay, so let's just start with a pretty wild question. Can a robot actually conduct a better interview than a human? I know, it sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, but this is a question researchers are seriously dealing with right now. And trust me, the answer might actually surprise you.
All right, so first things first, let's make sure we're all on the same page. Qualitative research, it isn't about crunching numbers. It's about getting the nuances of human experience, through things like really deep interviews and focus groups. It's about getting the full story, the context, the why. Now, traditionally, this always meant sitting down with someone, face to face. But then the pandemic came along and basically hit the fast forward button on everything. It caused this massive, rapid shift away from in-person methods and kind of pushed the entire field online. And that digital chaos, it created the perfect storm for new technologies to really take hold.
And, you guessed it, the most disruptive of all these new technologies is artificial intelligence. I mean, AI isn't some far-off idea anymore. It's here, and it's playing a huge role in both analyzing research data and, as we're about to see, even collecting it in the first place. And here's the thing you've got to understand. AI isn't just a simple little helper anymore. We're talking about really complex tasks, like thematic analysis, finding the key patterns in hundreds of pages of interview transcripts. The best AI models out there are now performing right on par with, and sometimes, yeah, even better than, expert human researchers.
Take a look at this number, 1.00. This comes from a recent study measuring agreement between AI and humans. So what does a 1.00 mean? Well, in simple terms, a score of 1 is a perfect match. It means an advanced AI and a human expert looked at the exact same data and came to the exact same conclusions. That level of accuracy is an absolute game changer.
Okay, but this is where it gets even crazier. AI isn't just stuck in the back room analyzing stuff. Researchers are now using large language models, yeah, the same kind of tech behind tools like ChatGPT, to act as conversational agents. Basically, they can conduct qualitative interviews at a massive scale. And the results are, well, they're fascinating. One study found that when people were interviewed by an AI, they wrote 142% more than they did when they were just filling out a standard survey text box. So why? Well, it seems we tend to open up a whole lot more when we don't feel like we're being judged. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. It's from the London School of Economics Impact blog, and it points out that people felt way more comfortable sharing with a non-judgmental AI, and that led to richer, more detailed, more honest answers. It's just a powerful little insight into our own psychology, isn't it? Now, as powerful as AI is, it's really just one piece of a much bigger story. The entire field is going digital, and it's breaking down all these old barriers to create something you could almost call research without borders. You can really see the difference on this slide, right? The old versus the new. Traditional methods were super expensive and totally locked to one location. But these new digital and hybrid approaches, they've got global reach, they're flexible, they're convenient, they let researchers connect with people literally anywhere, anytime. And this has opened up a whole new toolkit for researchers to play with. We're talking virtual focus groups that connect people from different continents, digital diaries where people track their experiences over time, and mobile ethnography, which is super cool, where people just use their phones to share these authentic, in-the-moment videos. It's all about meeting people where they are. But, of course, with all this new power comes a lot of new responsibility. These amazing tools aren't just changing what's possible, they're forcing us to have a really critical conversation about ethics and about the role of the human in this human and machine partnership. And look, the bottom line is crystal clear. Innovation cannot outpace ethics. As we start collecting more intimate, real-time data and using AI to make sense of it all, we absolutely have to have clear guardrails in place for things like privacy, consent, and data security. It's non-negotiable. The good news is, experts are already working on these rules. The guidelines that are emerging are pretty straightforward. Be really intentional about the tools you pick. Be completely transparent with people about how you're using AI. Always have a human double-check the AI's work, and, above all else, protect participant data. And it's not just about rules, right? It's about what we should be doing. This technology gives us an incredible chance to amplify voices that are often ignored and to engage with younger digital native generations like Gen Z. But it has to be done carefully, making sure that we design studies that are inclusive and don't accidentally create a bigger digital divide. So when you put it all together, it really comes down to this big balancing act. On one side, you have these massive opportunities, incredible scale and efficiency, way richer data, more inclusive studies. And on the other side, you have some pretty significant challenges, serious ethical risks, the need for researchers to learn totally new skills, and the responsibility to close that digital gap.
Which brings us to our final, really critical question. As our tools get smarter and smarter, what's the new role for the human researcher? In a world where we partner with AI to understand what it means to be human, what does it mean to be the human in that partnership? That's the big question we're all going to have to answer.